You know, there has been a seismic shift in power in the world. China has overtaken Japan in numbers that came out overnight and is now the world's #2 economy after the United States. CNBC's Nicole Lapin, host of Worldwide Exchange, joins me right now. And good morning to you, Nicole. What does this mean for all of us?
This is a historic shift, right, Richard? For the first time in nearly 2 decades since overtaking West Germany in 1967, Japan has held the #2 spot. Of course, for the most part, we knew this was largely coming, but Japan making it official in the morning their time by coming out and saying the economy shrank by 1.1% for the first time in the last 3 months. The idea that they clocked in this negative GDP, Richard, you know this, is worrisome for investors, especially since it still is the 3rd largest economy. And compare that with China's GDP that grew at almost 10%, 9.8% from a year earlier. Yeah, gangbusters is right. I will say that China is downplaying this a little bit because with this spot, and Japan knows this, it means more clout, more obligations that comes with this global demand. And frankly, China is still the 2nd biggest, Richard, but you know it is not the strongest, with the most people there living on about $2 a day.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how they don't want to bring attention to themselves despite hitting #2 at the moment. Hey, it's Valentine's Day, my friend, and the Dow's looking pretty good.
Not actually. Not a lot of love for markets today. Historically, Valentine's Day also doesn't bode well for equity markets. Usually the NASDAQ does get a little bit more love, but most often the market does indeed end lower. Typically, the S&P 500 ends up about 40% of the time. I looked up all this historical data for you.
It's important. I'm glad you did, because I didn't, obviously.
Of course. We do get a little bit of a better shot, I will say, because this is Monday. So when Valentine's Day historically falls on a Monday, markets close higher about 60% of the time. But there you go. But pretty much a mixed bag. History is playing out a little bit with the NASDAQ a touch firmer. The Dow is off about 20 right now.
I think I was thinking of Asian numbers early in the morning or something. That must have been it. Happy Valentine's Day, my friend. Good to see you. Now, we got some live pictures right now from Baltimore, where in just a few minutes, the president will outline his 2012 budget right on that podium right there.